he crossed the line in second place. And 30 seconds later, he was scored 29th. Today we're breaking down the penalty that cost Bubba Wallace a shot at victory at Atlanta and why some NASCAR veterans are saying NASCAR got this one wrong. And hey, real quick, if you are a true NASCAR fan like me, go ahead and drop a like and subscribe to the channel. NASCAR Nation News is just getting started. We are pushing for our next subscriber milestone, and it's all about real talk from fans who live this sport every week. All right, let's get into it. Let's set the scene. During the final lap of last Sunday's Quaker State 400 at Atlanta, Bubba Wallace was locked in a battle for the win with Carson Hocevar of Spire Motorsports and Ryan Blaney of Team Penske. In the middle of that chaos, Wallace dropped below the track's double yellow line. What came next sparked a debate across the entire sport. NASCAR's rulebook is clear on this. It states that if a vehicle goes beneath the double painted lines to improve its position, that car will be black flagged. And that's exactly what happened here. Bubba had crossed the finish line in second place, right behind Blaney, but immediately after the race, he was dropped all the way down to 29th. Now here's where it gets interesting. Not everyone agrees on whether this penalty was fair. Wallace himself repeatedly insisted he gained no advantage. According to the story, he entered turn 3 in third place, stayed there through the corner, and only moved into second a few meters from the finish line. But here's the thing. His own team owner didn't fully back him up. Denny Hamlin, who co-owns 23XI Racing alongside Michael Jordan, agreed that Wallace didn't have many options to avoid dropping below that double yellow line. Still, on his Actions Detrimental podcast, Hamlin said Wallace was the furthest ahead through turns 3 and 4 on that final lap. So even though the scoring charts didn't show an advantage, Hamlin believed Wallace had, in his words, technically gained the lead at one point. For Hamlin, rules are rules. However, not every NASCAR veteran saw it that way. On the Schrader and Hearn podcast, former Cup Series driver Kenny Wallace argued that Bubba had no choice but to drop below the line. Kenny explained that Bubba was trying to save the car, went below the yellow line, and did not pass the car in front of him. And that eventually he did move ahead, but not because of going below the line. You know, Kenny Wallace has actually lived through this exact situation himself. Over his 344 race Cup Series career, he was penalized for the same thing, dipping below the yellow line back in 2002 at Talladega Superspeedway. Before breaking down why he thought Bubba deserved a break, Kenny turned to fellow former driver Rick Mast for his take. Mast didn't hold back either. He called it a black and white rule book. If you gain a position by going below the yellow line, you get penalized. But Mast questioned whether NASCAR would have even caught it if it hadn't been pointed out on the broadcast. He said that with so much going on, NASCAR might not have noticed it at all if it hadn't been flagged on television. Kenny Wallace doubled down on his stance too. He said he didn't agree with the penalty because, in his view, when Bubba went below the yellow line, he wasn't gaining a position. He said NASCAR's explanation that passing below the line results in a penalty still didn't sit right with him, and the fallout from all of this was massive. Wallace dropped all the way down to 13th in the standings after a 27-point swing. His once comfortable 83-point cushion above the cutoff line shrank down to just 55 points. So here's the question for you. Do you think Bubba Wallace should have been penalized for going below the yellow line, or do you side with Kenny Wallace and Rick Mast on this one? Let us know down in the comments. And if you haven't already, make sure you like this video and subscribe to NASCAR Nation News because we've got a lot more coming your way. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.